was Louis?
Louise? Are you talking about Louise?
Mm-hmm.
Some woman.
Go back here later, just do the other stuff.
I'm doing our quest, you know.
There are more quests. Investigation to do.
Yeah, but they're somewhere else.
Go to the theater at least.
It's not here. I'm first staying here doing this one, because it was so hard to understand.
You have to focus on it that you won't find it now. Maybe this thing is in the zoo. It's under this part of the city.
But there's no... The problem is it's showing here. That really means it's here. It won't be in there because we were already over there everywhere. Maybe here in this dead end. That's this dead end. Louise. Oh, we saved her.
Good evening, Miss
That was the
Tisdale.
trail.
How have you been since you returned home?
Dr. Reed. Oh, thank God you returned safely from these awful streets. I was so worried about my father that I left without thanking you properly.
Please don't mention it, miss.
Good. I found him, you know. My dad. Or what was left of him. I think my abductor intended to do the same thing to me.
What do you do for a living, Miss Teasdale?
Before my kidnapping, I was a waitress in a pub. Now I'm unemployed.
Were you fired?
No. It's just that after my recent experience, I don't feel like I can go back to my normal life. I need to do something useful.
Be very careful, Miss Teasdale. You were lucky to escape death once.
There's
Vampires lurk everywhere.
You killed my kidnapper by yourself, didn't you? No offense, Doctor, but you're just a doctor. I don't see why I couldn't do the same.
What do you intend to do?
Dad always told me, Louise, if you want something, don't stop until you have it. I did my research and I found it. Ichabod Throgmorton, professional vampire hunter. I'll be his apprentice.
You're
What can you tell me
stupid.
about this area?
I've never really
Can't know
liked
it
this
that
part.
he's an idiot.
It was where my father went.
Actually, he's a nice guy, but
I won't
he's
remain here much
just naive.
longer.
What exactly don't you like about it?
People here are contemptuous and elitist. My dad always said, Louise, always treat people like you want them to treat you.
That's quite good.
You seem to cherish your father a great deal.
Dad was the best. Kept an eye on me, but
her
Louise
dad
used to
thought she
say,
ran away, but
mistakes are the
she
best
still left him
teacher.
and she was just kidnapped.
But he liked it.
I'm sorry you didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye.
That's all right. He's buried in consecrated ground now. Nothing bad can happen to him.
Louise, what can you tell me about the vampire who captured you?
The little fucker claimed he'd fallen in love with me. That he wanted to spend eternity with me. Not a bad
Didn't we
idea.
have the same story
At
exactly
least that's the
before?
way it seemed at first.
Really? Did you consider accepting his proposal?
Well, before the girl
immortality,
wanted to be
not a common
immortal.
wedding gift, is it?
And it didn't work.
I think he just wanted to have his way with me. Can vampires even fuck, Doctor?
What? Well, I really
Time to
can't
find out.
answer that. Since they are creatures of blood, physically speaking, I suppose an erection is possible, but
Don't be embarrassed, Dr. Reed. I was just
Let's
asking.
go to Elizabeth and find out.
Why did your father feel guilty? He seemed so eager to welcome you back, as though he'd done something wrong.
Last time we saw each other, we had a terrible argument.
Well,
Oh,
I
she
left
ran
the
away.
house and ended up in a pub. That's where the vampire met me. Dead drunk.
I see.
We argued a lot, me and Dad. But I always
from
came
what I know
home.
about vampires,
I'm
they
sure that's why he
cannot
went to find
fuck.
me.
From
knew
what
something
I
bad
know
happened.
about vampires, they cannot fuck.
They can't reproduce.
Your father never gave
Oh,
up.
they can, just in
In the
wrong
end,
way.
he risked everything to save
Like an
the daughter
avatar
he loved.
connecting
Yeah.
their braids.
That was my dad. Tough bastard, just like me.
Nah,
Even if
I
I'd
just
broken
meant
his
that
leg,
they are
he would've
making
gone
few
looking for me.
vampires.
What do you mean?
That last argument we had,
That's
it was more
how
of
they
a fight,
spread. They
actually.
just bite.
He slapped me and
Or
I
give
kicked him
blood.
hard in the balls.
Louise, tell me what you really think about your father's sacrifice to save you.
I'm proud he went after me. I forgive him all his harsh words, all his bloody attitudes. I only wish I could tell him how much I loved him.
Yes. It can be traumatic not having the chance to say goodbye to those we love.
Yes, Doctor. And there's no treatment for that type of pain, isn't that right? That may be the last thing my father taught me.
Goodbye, Miss Teasdale. And
You already
be careful
cured her if she was
until
ill.
we meet again. Good.
Can I?
Do you need... Goodbye, Miss Teasdale.
Every fucking one is ill.
Not everyone, just 3-4 people.
Karina, Mom, and him. That's the problem. I don't know where Karina was.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. A great night,
The other
what?
side, from what I remember.
So, did you try the restaurant I recommended?
Oh, yes, I can't thank you enough, my dear doctor. Exquisite, but expensive. But what is money made for, if not for little pleasures?
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm glad you enjoyed the place.
I do, doctor, I do. Thank you again.
Do you need medical help?
You would save my life, Dr. Reed. I have not felt
He didn't enjoy it at the
Don't-
end then.
Do you know anything
I guess
about a
you did.
man called Aloysius Dawson?
He used to be a
Oh, we
big
could have told him
spender.
that, hey, use your
One
money
day,
for something
he
better.
sent 3 houseboys to buy
And then it would be
all
like,
the
hey, I'm
Eucalyptus
already
shop
helping the poor, or
for his
something like
brother's
that.
birthday, if I remember correctly.
I see. Anything else? Less gastronomic, perhaps?
I really can't say. The man is filthy rich. But you know that, of course.
Goodbye, Mr. Russell.
Did I hear
I'm
him?
sure you will take care of yourself.
That's...
Clarence.
Maybe we should talk the
2.
daughter of our laugh.
Yeah.
Hello again, Mother.
Jonathan, back already? Good, good. I was just about to go outside to find you. You shouldn't stay away for
You
so
should
long.
go out if you're retarded already.
Father seems to have left me some documents. Some sort of treasure hunt game. Do you know anything about them?
No, Johnny. But your father always loved to write these little games for you when you were a boy. Don't you remember?
I remember now. He used to post me these riddles, as though they were sent by a mysterious games master. I'd spend weeks trying to decipher them.
Your father was always so proud each time you found the answer. He was not just the serious, dour banker everybody thought he was.
I was proud too. How could I forget that?
The important thing is that you remember it now. I'll tell your father the next time I see him. He'll be so happy.
Could Father have conceived some sort of final game for me before he left?
I really can't say, Johnny. Perhaps you should talk with Avery about that. He was your father's confidant, more than I.
Now we'll finally have hands and then it will be unlocked to see.
I think you should take the... What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Your father knew him, but I never met the man.
Was Father in business with Mr. Dawson?
Your father was a banker, Jonathan. I believe Aloysius Dawson has been in business with all the bankers in London.
Goodbye, Mother.
Goodbye.
Make more medicine. I don't know if we have enough.
I already did. Did more than enough.
Finally, you listen to my advice to always keep some extra.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Jonathan.
I found an old letter written by my father and addressed to me. Do you know anything about it, Avery?
Your father wanted me to give you this letter for your 35th birthday, but you left for the war, and the letter remained in his office until tonight.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did. Do you know why he left, Avery? Did he ever speak to you about his departure?
No, sir. Mr. Reed was not exactly forthcoming. Perhaps this letter will give you the information you require.
Do you know my mother speaks to the dead members of this family?
Yes. I sometimes hear her speaking to you, Miss Mary, and her baby. Sometimes your father, too.
So she thinks I'm also dead. And what about you?
I believe she only sees her relatives as the dead she speaks to, Mr. Jonathan. It breaks my heart to see Miss Reed like that.
She may get better. It's only a hypothesis, but I know my mother is strong. Whatever illusions have clouded her mind, they will fade in time.
Yes. With time, Miss Reed will recover from this cursed year. I know that your return can only be beneficial to that process.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Not much, sir. Mr. Dawson's house used to be a good house, with many servants. I heard he fired them all recently.
Goodbye, Avery.
Of course.
Nothing more. Who's missing? Karina.
There's still this daughter.
Which we can't reach. Where the fuck was Karina?
Maybe we should save to unlock this one batch. And definitely you should go to this theater. There might be stuff.
It was